And a very good Friday morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Joe Benigno back with you again. It's the Oh the Pain podcast. It's Friday, the 13th, as a matter of fact. Friday, December 13th, 2024. Just, 12 days till Christmas. On the 12th day of Christmas. You don't want to hear me sing that, but nevertheless, the Joe Benigno Oh the Pain podcast, of course, brought to you by the Hackensack Brewing Company, by I Need a Discount Tire, by Manscaped, and of course by cardwinners.net. You know, it's been a very interesting morning already at our house. Went outside earlier. You know, we did the litter this morning for the cats, and then I went outside earlier to open the car door, and the car would not open because the lock on the car, you know, we actually have a key that turns the car open, okay? And I don't want to get into all the reasons why, but that's what we have. And it won't, you know, it's 20 degrees out, it's freezing, it won't open. So I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Do we really need this? Is this how the day is going to start? So anyway, first I got some WD-40, figuring that might help. It did not help. So then I called over to I Need a Discount Tire to talk to my son Johnny and his boss Ari, as I tell you about all the time. And Ari tells me what I need to do is get the key and get a lighter and warm the key up. And I'm like, really? This is going to work? You know what? It did, stunningly. So that's how the morning started. So hopefully we can move on to bigger and better things as the day goes on. But yeah, nothing better than that. And it's cold as balls outside, 20 degrees, whatever it is. So what do you expect? I think the high today in beautiful New Jersey is going to be 30. The other thing going on, and I don't know if people are aware of this, you should be if you live in the metropolitan area, you live in Jersey for sure, is these drones that are flying all over Jersey that are seen every night, and nobody knows what the hell they are. I mean, really? What the hell is going on? Our wonderful governor, Governor Murphy, he can't get out of here soon enough, said that there was I guess it was yesterday, that there was 49 sightings. Only 49. 49. Well, what do you mean there's 49? What are these drones? Now, who is it? Jeff Van Drew, who's a congressman in Jersey, who used to be a Democrat, now he's a Republican. He says that there is a ship that's somewhere docked out, you know, in the ocean somewhere off of the Jersey shore, that is an Iranian ship that is flying these drones. Well, is that the case? Why doesn't our governor know, not only the governor, the government know what the hell is going on? That's a joke. I mean, it's unbelievable. So all these drones flying the size of SUVs are flying over New Jersey, okay? People are seeing them every night, right? I even saw one guy on TV that was telling me that he sent his own drone up there, and when his drone got very close to one of these other drones, it actually petered out, and the drone dropped right back down to the ground, and it burned the battery out. What is that? I mean, what the hell is going on? And the government, our wonderful government, that this administration can't get out of here fast enough. You know, I really think, you know, I'm reading this book about the president. It's a great book. It's called Confronting the Presidents. It's written by Bill O'Reilly. You know, and it's just a great book. It goes right from George Washington right up to Joey Boy Biden. It's phenomenal. I mean, if you're a history buff, if you're into the presidents like I am, I mean, you learn. I'm learning things I never knew. I'm actually up to Jimmy Carter. I'm almost done with the book. But in the old days, March 4th would be Inauguration Day. They moved it up in 1933. They moved it up to January 20th. In the first of the FDR administration. That was his first term, 1933. He moved it up to January 20th. And the reason they had it at March 4th for all those years is because, look, in the old days, it took time to travel to Washington. You know, you weren't getting there by a plane in a couple hours. So, a little different situation. You know, now it's time to move it up to like January 2nd. I mean, really, the day after New Year's. Probably shouldn't do it New Year's Day. Do it the day after New Year's, January 2nd, and let's go. I mean, there's far too much time between November 6th and January 20th. And, look, you know how I feel about this administration. They don't know what the hell they're doing. And I mean, nobody knows what's going on with these drones. I mean, it's beyond the pale. So I had to bring that up because it's starting to bother me. And I know if you live in New Jersey, it's got to be bothering everybody. They're flying over Picatinny. They're flying over Trump's golf course in Bedminster. I mean, well, what the hell is going on here? So I don't know. I mean, who knows? You would think the government should know. And then you got to hear this wonderful governor. He'll be done. He'll be gone next year. He can't get out soon enough either, Murphy. That, he's basically saying, well, there's nothing to worry about. Well, if you don't, how can you say that? You have no idea what the hell these drones are, but there's nothing to worry about. And they're afraid to shoot them out of the sky because they're afraid what might happen if they shoot them. There might be bombs going on. I don't know. So anyway, if you live in New Jersey, just look up in the sky at night and you will see these drones. And it's been going on now for a month. And it's about time that this freaking federal government figures out what the hell these things are. Just incredible. Just really incredible. I don't know. I know we're talking about sports here, but this drone thing is just something's wrong. And something needs to be done about it. And obviously nobody's doing a thing about it. And like I said, the people that would be doing something about it, they're not taking control for, over another month yet. So, we can only hope for the best. What a disaster. All right, let's get to the sports. Yesterday was the Juan Sotos press conference with the Mets. I thought it was very interesting yesterday on many, many different levels. And I really got the impression, listening to Soto talk yesterday, he was interviewed by a bunch of different people, that you get the impression that Soto really didn't like it with the Yankees. I mean, that's the impression I got. They asked him yesterday, had he talked to anybody from the Yankees since he left the team? And Soto said no. He said he hadn't talked to anybody on the team, not even Aaron Judge, hadn't talked to anybody on the team since the final game of the World Series. And I thought that was very telling. I really did. And you heard stuff, too, that, at the end of the games, he would just go home. It's amazing. He lives at home with his parents, I mean, which is, I guess a big part of the whole thing and a big part of the reason why he signed with the Mets. And I was very, that he would just put his headsets on after the game and just go and just leave. And, there was no hanging around. He didn't go out with the guys. He didn't do any of this kind of thing. So you wonder if he really enjoyed playing for the Yankees last year. And I thought something else that was very interesting, Andy Martino, who, not exactly my favorite guy out there, but nevertheless, you get the impression he knows what he's doing. He's pretty locked in when it comes to what's going on in baseball and all that. The Mets, besides the money, obviously the money, but besides the money, basically gave his family, and he's got quite an entourage with the family there, 20 tickets to games, and they gave Soto his own suite. And apparently, according to Andy Martino, this is something that the Yankees don't do. And, they have a strict rule that no matter who it is, nobody gets their own suite. You want a suite, you got to pay for it with the Yankees. Really? I mean, I thought that was a very telling comment. And I think maybe one of the big reasons that he signed here is it's much more of a family atmosphere. I've been talking about this with a bunch of different people. The Yankees are buttoned down, corporate. Hal Steinbrenner, you see Stevie Cohen running around. Even at the press conference yesterday. Now, he didn't have his Met hat on yesterday, but even at the press conference, Cohen's not at this press conference dressed, in like a $2,000-$3,000 suit. He looks like just like any of us, on a normal day. And you see Cohen when he's, during games, Cohen's always down in the stands. He's got his Met hat on. He's commiserating with the fan base and all of that. And I know Cohen's got gobs of money. I mean, obviously the hedge funds, he's into art and all that. Guy's got money out the wazoo. But it's a much more down-to-earth situation than you have with the Yankees. I mean, it's all buttoned down and corporate. I mean, when's the last time you saw Hal Steinbrenner wearing a Yankee hat and bouncing around the stands with the fans in Yankee Stadium? When the hell's the last time you saw that happen? The answer is never. So, maybe that's a big part of why Soto decided to sign with the Mets. I mean, obviously the money. He said, let's never get away from that. It's always about the money. But when the money is basically the same and the years are basically the same, there's some things that that maybe put it over the top. That you got to go above and beyond. And obviously, maybe these kind of perks that the family are getting is really what turned it around for Soto. I was amazed to hear this too. Steve Cohen was talking about the first time he met him, and it was just more of a meet and greet type thing. And then he said, I got to go out and see him again, which he did. And he even, how about this? This is nuts. He even flew his 93-year-old father-in-law, who I guess is an all-time Met fan because his wife's Alex is a big Met fan too, and she's obviously a big part of the whole thing here with the Mets. He actually flew his 93-year-old father-in-law out to L.A. To their house in L.A. I guess Cohen's got a big mansion in L.A. somewhere. I can only imagine. They asked Soto, has he got a pretty nice house in L.A.? He said, yeah, it's pretty nice. I can imagine, like I said. They flew the father-in-law out there to help recruit Soto. How about that? That's unbelievable. Really. I mean, so the Cohen family went above and beyond to get this done. And what a different world it is for the Mets. I mean, I'm a Met fan since day one, since 1962. And this is something the Wilpons would have never done. If the Wilpons were still owning the team, they would have not even been in this Soto sweepstakes. I mean, they wouldn't even been in it. I mean, it's really unbelievable. Think about it.
I don't know what they're doing.
Go ahead, go up. My wife, the cats are upstairs, creating havoc as only they can.
They're running track.
They're running track upstairs. Iggy and Dante running track, so whatever. But getting back to the Cohens, I mean, this is something the Wilpons would have never done. They would have never been in this. You go back 25 years ago to when A-Rod was a free agent, and A-Rod wanted to play with the Mets, and the Wilpons would not go above and beyond. A-Rod wanted a suite, they wouldn't give it to him. A-Rod wanted a billboard or something announcing he's coming to the Mets, and they wouldn't do it. So he wound up at that point signing with the Texas Rangers before, of course, he wound up with the Yankees. I mean, even remember when Vlad Guerrero was out there as a free agent coming from Montreal, and the Mets actually gave him an offer, the Wilpons, but they never. The offer had all these stipulations because Guerrero had some injury issues in Montreal, and the offer had all these stipulations about him being hurt, and if he gets hurt, that they're not going to give him the money or whatever it was. And he wound up signing with Anaheim with the Angels, and he played 10 years there without getting hurt. So I mean, this is something the Wilpons would have never done, and it's just so refreshing if you're a Met fan to see this. I mean, look, I didn't think he'd sign here. I am thrilled that he signed here, but now we got to win. He signed a 15-year deal, and the Cohen sold Soto also on talking about Met dynasties, and I'm sure it helped a lot that the Mets went to the NLCS this year and really showed that they're a team on the rise and all of that. But Cohen again, he wants to win. He wants to win consistently. And I wish this was something that we had. I wish Cohen would buy the Jets. I mean, I've said about this for a long time. Woody Johnson, I mean, win consistently. How about we have a winning season? Never mind consistent winning. But, Cohen sold Soto on that. And you're a Met fan today. You just got to be thrilled. But now we got to win. And I'm not even asking for multiple championships. Get me one. We haven't won a World Series in 38 years here. It's time to win now. And people say, well, it's going to be tough to get through the Dodgers and all this. Hey, here's what I say. We played the Dodgers in the NLCS last year. We won 2 games without Soto. So Soto, might be exactly what puts us over the top if we got to go through the Dodgers again in a playoff situation. But just get me one. I'm not greedy. My teams don't win championships. You know that. The Jets haven't won in 56 years. The Knicks haven't won in 51 years. The Mets haven't won in 38 years. The Rangers haven't won in 30 years. My teams don't win championships. Get me one. Multiple would be off the charts. I wouldn't know what that would feel like. But, get me one. That's all I want. But just a great day that Soto is here. And, thank God for Stevie Cohen. Like I said, I wish he would go out and buy the Jets. That would be nice. And put the new Jet Stadium right across the street from Citi Field, because that's really where the Jets belong. But that's a whole nother discussion. Now the Mets got him. Now the Mets' next move to me is getting Pete Alonso in the fold. I'm sorry. I mean, I didn't even hear anybody talk about Alonso yesterday, which kind of bothered me. You know, he has Boris as his agent too. Boris was up there. He actually spoke. He was on the dais, you know, with Cohen, Stern, Soto, and it was Boris. So, you know, the Mets got to get Pete here. You can't tell me that the fan base doesn't want Pete Alonso as part of this team going forward as a homegrown Met. And I can only envision that top of the lineup with Lindor leading off, Soto second, Vientos third, and Alonso batting cleanup. I mean, right? That's what that's what I want to see. So I want to see Alonso get done. Now they need pitching too. You know, to me they got to get Sean Manaea back. I want him. I've heard talk about Walker Buehler. I'm in for Walker Buehler, the former Dodger. Why not? You know, I don't love the Frankie Montas signing. You know, I don't really hate the Clay Holmes signing, but you know, Clay Holmes is to me he's a setup man for Diaz, not a starter. But you know, apparently Hefner and company are going to try to make him into a starter. So we'll see how that plays out. But a good day to be a Met fan, and really I don't want to say the balance of power, but certainly there's been a seismic shift in baseball in New York as the Mets take Juan Soto away from the Yankees. And I'll tell you right now, George Steinbrenner's got to be rolling over in his grave. This is something that would have never happened in my mind if George Steinbrenner was alive. He would have found a way to keep Soto. He would have gave him the tickets, gave him his suite. I'm sure he would have done whatever he had to do. Maybe put it up to $800 million. I don't know. George would have done whatever he had to do to keep Soto here with the Yankees. But thank God, unfortunately for the Yankee fans, George isn't around anymore, and here he is as a Met. So very happy. You're a Met fan today, like me. You got to be thrilled. Juan Soto, a member of the Mets. Now let's go out, get Pete signed, get this pitching staff straightened out, and let's go out and win a World Series with the Mets. Let's go. All right, Benigno, the Yoda Pain podcast. We'll get my NFL picks in here for week number. What the hell week are we up to? 14, 15? I don't even know. Week 15, I guess it is now. There was a game last night that I didn't see because it was on Amazon. The Rams with a 12-6 win over the fading San Francisco 49ers. The Rams move up to 8-6 on the year. The Niners drop to 6-8. The Jets actually play the Rams next week at MetLife in a big game for the Rams, obviously. So we'll see. But we'll do our NFL picks coming up in just a few minutes. All right. I've been talking about the Hackensack Brewing Company. Everybody knows it for a long time now. As I try to get my paperwork here. They got stuff sticking to stuff here. What a disaster. Here we go. All right. The Hackensack Brewing Company is located 10 minutes off the George Washington Bridge, less than 30 seconds off beautiful Route 4. And who needs a house out in Hackensack, New Jersey? The tap room's open 4:30 to 10, Monday through Friday. By the way, if you're going to the brewing company, watch out for the drones flying around. Tap room's open 4:30 to 10, Monday to Friday, 2 to 10 Saturday, 12 to 8 Sundays, 78 Johnson Avenue in Hackensack, right behind the Tombstones. Do not know when the next live podcast will be. I'll when I know, you'll know. That's pretty much what the deal is. So we'll see when that is. But go see Mike Jones over there. Go see TJ. Try my Yoda Pain beer. You know the whole deal over there at Hackensack Brewing Company. And again, as soon as I know when the next live podcast will be, we will let you know about when that is. Now, any discount tires? I said I just called Johnny and his boss Harry, and they told me what to do. You know, burn that key, man. Get that key heated up, and it actually works. So you see, they do everything over there, man. Whatever it is, they know what to do when it comes to the automotive world at Anita Discount Tire. They got everything. You got the tires. They got anything you need for your car. You know, if you gotta fire up your key, whatever the hell it may be. If you need your car inspected, whatever it is, go check them out at Anita Discount Tire. See Johnny, see Harry, see everybody over there. Tell them I sent you. Westwood Avenue in beautiful Rivervale, New Jersey. Anita Discount Tire. And we thank Harry for helping me out today with this car situation as I said, it's balls cold out there. Now, Manscaped. Been telling you about Manscaped, the beard and balls bundle. I mean, how much more can I extol the virtues of Manscaped? How much? Whether it's the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra that keeps you looking good down below, keeps you giving that illusion of extra inches down below, right? Or the beard hedger that takes care of you up on top, gives you that clean look, makes you nice and smooth, makes your girl want to touch you and all of that. My wife actually wants to touch me. I mean, I don't even want to touch myself, makes her actually want to touch me. So, you got the lawnmower 5.0, the beard hedger. And then, of course, you got the thing, the scalp buffer for your head to keep you nice and, keep your head nice and loose and keep your scalp needing the way it is. I've been talking about for a long time how I use the shampoo and conditioner. I just ran out. So the people at Manscaped need to send me some more shampoo and conditioner. So, I got to use something else right now, which not really thrilled about because I really like the Manscaped shampoo and conditioner. Does a great job. Keeps your hair nice, keeps your body nice. I use it for body wash as well. So I need a new supply, people at Manscaped. So, and I even have the underwear. I talk about the underwear, T-shirts, underwear. I always wear the underwear when I go out and play golf. Believe it or not, I played golf on Tuesday. I actually played pretty well. It was kind of like playing in Scotland Tuesday, but, it was a lot warmer than it is today. I can tell you that. But nevertheless, check out Manscaped. They do a great job. Join the 11 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped for all their grooming needs and get the beard and balls bundle today. Again, check out the deal. You get 20% off and free shipping with the code OThePain at manscaped.com. 20% off, free shipping, the code OThePain, manscaped.com for the premium grooming experience. Trust Manscaped. There's nothing better, and I appeal again to the powers that be at Manscaped to make me the national spokesman. I mean, come on. Nobody does it better than me when it comes to Manscaped. And last but certainly not least, cardwinners.net, my buddy Avi over there. If you're in the hunt for the best credit card deals, look no further than cardwinners.net. You're searching for a personal credit card that suits your everyday needs, a business card to help manage your company's expenses, or a card that offers fantastic perks like airline points, cashback. We got you covered. Our site also features cards with promotional 0% APR offers and outstanding sign-up bonuses to help you get the most of your spending. Check out my top picks on cardwinners.net. That's coming up in a matter of moments. Don't wait. Visit cardwinners.net today. Discover the best credit card deals available. Card subject to credit card approval. Terms and conditions apply. See Avi, not Ari, but Avi and company, cardwinners.net. Still coughing up a storm a little bit. Pretty much over the COVID I had. I never really got too sick from it, but still having that, a little minor cold type symptoms that pretty much have gotten over, but nevertheless. All right, Benigno, the OThePain podcast. Before we get to the picks, Jets play the Jaguars this week. Can you beat the Jaguars? Can you beat the lousy Jaguars with Mac Jones, the quarterback? Can you do that? They actually won last week. The Jaguars actually beat Tennessee 10-6 in a real rip-roarer down there in Nashville. Can they actually get this win in Jacksonville? We saw how Rodgers played in the warm weather last week in Miami. How about we have a blowout win for a change against one of the worst teams in the NFL? How about it? Instead of again finding a new and creative way to blow yet another game with this football team. 4 games to go. We got Jacksonville on the road. We got the Rams at home, a big game for the Rams. We got the Bills in Buffalo, which you figured out winning that game. And then we close out with the Dolphins at home, which could be a big game for the Dolphins. That remains to be seen. 4 games left to play. We'll see. Look, the Jets, and I've said it over and over, the Jets got to get the right coach in here. Let's go. You know the guys I've talked about. If Mike Vrabel really wants this job, I'd give it to him tomorrow. Let's go. Woody Johnson cannot get it wrong this time. You cannot get it wrong this time. I don't want a first-time coordinator. We need a guy that's had head coaching experience. I would like somebody that has an idea about what it is to be, to coach with the Jets and, all the stigma that surrounds this franchise with all the losing and, what it's been for all these years, 14 years now without a playoff appearance, 9 years without a winning season. So that's what we need here. We'll see how it plays out with Woody and all that, but he's got to get it right this time. But the Jets in Jacksonville to play the Jaguars, can we get a freaking win? I don't know what else to say. All right. Benigno, the OThePain podcast. We've said enough about that. Benigno, the OThePain podcast. Let's get the picks in here. Continue. I 3 consecutive weeks now that I've gone 2-3 with my NFL picks. I'm 34-36 for the season. Been hovering right around 500. I went 2-3 again last week. So we're going to try to, get over the hump this week and get back over 500. We only got 4 weeks to go. So only regular season wise, we only have 20 games left to pick. Still a lot of games, but 20 games left to pick in the regular season. But here we go now for week 15 in the NFL. Game 1, I'm laying the big wood here, okay? I'm laying the big number. I'm laying the ridiculous 16.5 with the Ravens at MetLife against the Giants. The Giants have no shot in this game. Tommy DeVito is going to play quarterback to me. To me, I still think, I guess Drew Lock's a little banged up, and that's why DeVito's playing. The Ravens are 8-5. They're coming off the bye. They're coming off a loss to the Eagles before that. This is a game the Ravens have to have. And I don't see any way that they're losing to the Giants here. Supposed to be cold and windy. And all of that. But we'll see what it's going to be like. Lamar Jackson, we'll see. He should have a big field day against the Giants here. Derrick Henry. The Giants are all banged up. They don't have Dexter Lawrence. And it's a big number, but, I mean, can't you see this game being 35-0 or something like that? Because I certainly can see it. So, and the Ravens, who, like I said, they're 8-5. They really need to win this game. They're 2 games behind Pittsburgh now in the division and really need to get a win. So I don't see any way the Giants are in this game. Give me the Ravens at home, in MetLife, not at home. It should be an invitation-only crowd at MetLife. Again, probably have a lot of Raven fans there. Give me Baltimore laying 16.5 in MetLife at the Giants on Sunday. That's game 1. Game 2, I'm taking the Panthers laying 2.5 at home against Dallas. The Panthers have really started to play some good football. You look at these games, they came real close to beating the Eagles last week. Were right there against the Chiefs, wound up losing on a late field goal to them. Lost a tough game to Tampa Bay in overtime. So they've been playing good football. Bryce Young looks like he's maybe finally found it down there in Tampa. In Carolina. Now, it's a new day for them because they're actually the favorites here at home against a Dallas team that's played better too. I mean, they found a creative way not to beat Cincinnati last week. Dallas, you can't have more of a brutal loss than they had against the Bengals. But nevertheless, I'm taking a shot at the Panthers. Worries me a little bit that they're favored in this game, but still, I'm taking the Panthers. I'm laying the 2.5 at home against Dallas. That's game 2. Game 3, I'm taking Pittsburgh again. I mean, you're getting 5 points. They're playing the Eagles in Philadelphia. I'm getting Pittsburgh in points. I don't care where the game is. I'm taking it. Philadelphia was fortunate last week to get by to get by Carolina. I know Pickens is out here this week for Pittsburgh, and that's a hit for them offensively. But you got to believe this is a close game. Pittsburgh's sitting there at 10-3. Philadelphia's 11-2. Both teams leading their division. Look like they're on their way to the playoffs right now. I like the Steelers getting 5. Anytime I can get Pittsburgh, whether they're home, on the road, getting points, and you're getting 5 here against the Eagles, I'm taking them. Give me the Steelers plus 5 on the road in Philadelphia. That's game 3. Game 4, I'm taking Denver in Mile High, laying 4 against the Colts. Big game for the Colts, probably a bigger game than it is for Denver. The Colts are sitting there, what are they, 6-8 right now, still with an outside shot to make the playoffs. And still, I guess still with a shot in their division behind, or 6-7, I guess the Colts are, not 6-8. Still with an outside shot to get that division. They're 2 games behind Houston. But look, the Broncos are 4-point favorite at home. Bo Nix has really started to play well. I like what I'm seeing with him. Their defense can be a little vulnerable. Maybe 4 is a little big number, but I don't think so. I like the way the Broncos are playing. They're 8-5. Look like they're on their way to the playoffs as well. Sean Payton's done a great job there with Denver. Give me the Broncos laying 4 at home against Indianapolis. And finally, it's funny. I've been on this 3 consecutive games now. I've been on the Seahawks. I had them 3 weeks ago against Arizona. I won. I had the Jets against them 2 weeks ago, and, of course, the Jets found a way to blow the game to Seattle. And then last week I had Seattle. I went against Seattle against the Cardinals in Arizona, and they killed the Cardinals in that game. So been very up and down with Seattle. I'm taking them, though, this week. Getting 2.5 at home against Green Bay. I know Green Bay's played well. What are they, 9-4 now, Green Bay? They're certainly in the playoff mix, although, it looks like the division's out of reach now as they're 3 games behind Detroit. They're coming off that loss to Detroit a couple Thursdays ago. Jordan Love's played well. The Packers are a good team. I think Seattle's on their way. Seattle's leading the division. They're 8-5. They got right now it's a half-game lead over the Rams, who won, as I said, won their game last night. Seahawks have been hot, right? I mean, they've been playing well. What is it, 4 straight wins for Seattle? Give me the Seahawks getting 2.5 at home against Green Bay. So the Benigno picks for week 15 in the NFL. I keep getting my weeks mixed up. Give me the Ravens getting 16.5 at MetLife. Getting the Ravens laying 16.5. Oh, yeah. At MetLife against the Giants. Give me the Panthers laying 2.5 at home against Dallas. Give me the Steelers getting 5 in Philly against the Eagles in the battle for Pennsylvania. Give me the Broncos laying 4 at home against Indy. And give me the Seahawks plus 2.5 at home against the Packers. The Joe Benigno Pro Football Picks week 15 in the NFL. All right, everybody, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your week. Christmas is closing in. I will not be on the air tomorrow for WFAN, taking a day. I got some stuff to do with my granddaughter, so we're going to be doing that. Everybody, enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the football over the weekend. Got the Army-Navy game tomorrow, standalone. Always a good game to watch. Army who's had a great year, 1-loss season. That only lost to Notre Dame at Yankee Stadium and had a tremendous year. Navy's been pretty solid, too. So that game, of course, coming up tomorrow. Of course, got the college football playoffs coming up next week. A week from today, actually, you got the first game between Indiana and Notre Dame at South Bend. So a lot of good football coming up. The NFL this weekend and all of that. But enjoy your weekend. Check me out on Monday. And if you live in Jersey, watch out for those low-flying freaking drones, okay? Everybody have a solid week. All the love. God bless America. We'll talk to you on Monday.